check yourselves before you wreck yourselves. Welcome to Ultra Fit Online. My name's McDonald, aka Professor Fitness, and today what we're going to do is we're going to run through some power club movements that I put into an article that I wrote for Ultra Fit magazine. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you how to perform the movements because, you know, you can see it moving and it makes a little bit more sense. So we're going to look at doing a frontal plane swipe into a transverse plane swipe into a mill into a reverse mill. That's going to be our first sort of hybrid, and these are movements that we can put back to back to back to back to get a great little workout from. Okay, so let's look at the first movement. We're just using a nice light 6 kg club, and we're going to look at a frontal plane swipe. So from there, the club's going to get pushed out across our body. We're going to let it flow across the front of our body in a frontal plane, up and over the shoulder, and we're going to cast it back out again. Okay? Should look something like this. Up to there, and down to there. Okay? So we're keeping it nice in front of our body in that frontal plane. Okay, back to the order position. Now from here what we're going to do is, we're going to look at a transverse swipe. Okay? So this time what we're going to do is, we're going to push the club out in a diagonal, in sort of a diagonal direction. It's going to come across the opposite leg. Alright? So we're going to have to rotate, flex and rotate, working through the transverse plane. The club is then going to come up and over the same shoulder as the hand that we've got the club in, and we're going to cast it back out again. So again, it should look something like this. So from there, across the opposite leg, and back up to there, in a nice little diagonal sort of movement. Alright? Back up to there, and back to the order position. Spot on. Alright, now this time what we're going to do is, we're going to look at the mill. Okay? Now this is like the big kahuna of club training. So the club's going to go across my body, it's going to come down and round. But this time, like when we was in that frontal plane swipe, instead of stopping the club behind our body, what we're going to do is we're going to cast it back out in a nice circular motion. Now it's got to be flowing. Alright, we want to keep that momentum sort of in the club and make it a little easier for ourselves. Alright, so from there what we're going to do is, across the body, down, whoop, little circle there, whoop, behind the body, down, whoop, and round to there, whoop, and straight round, and catch back in the order. Perfect. This is then going to flow into a reverse mill, which is just going the opposite way. Absolute piece of cake. Alright, so I'm going to push the club out and away from my body. It's going to come down, around behind my head, and back out. Okay? So there, whoop, and straight round to there. Whoop, round, whoop, around to there, whoop. Perfect. Okay. Whoop. How are we feeling about that? What we're going to do now is we're going to put them together in that sort of hybrid movement. So, from there, frontal plane swipe. 1, I'm just going to do 3 reps of each. 2, whoop, 3, transverse plane swipe, up to there, 1, 2, whoop, 3, into our mill, round to there, 2, last 1, whoop, 3, throw and catch, push back out, up, 1, up, reverse mill, 2, whoop, 3, and catch, and the club goes down, okay? Now from there what we're going to do is, throw it into the other hand, and perform the hybrid in the other hand as well. Fantastic. We're now going to move on into our second hybrid. Alright, and this time we're going to use some double clubs. So we're stepping up the game a little bit. We're raising the bar a little bit. Alright, so what we're going to look at is we're going to look at little rockets, okay, into swings, into a swipe, my apologies, into a double swipe, into a swipe with an alternating lunge. Okay? So at the present moment in time, that means nothing, but we're going to run through, okay? So with the rockets, I'm going to show you each little different movement and then we're going to put them together. So with the rocket, we're going to double dip. We're going to dip almost like a little quarter squat on the front and a quarter squat on the back. Alright? It makes more sense when you sort of see what I'm doing. So from there, dip, 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 dip. Okay? Little rocket sort of pendulum type movement. Alright? Now from there what we're going to do is, we're going to go into a swing. Now a swing is very, very similar to sort of a kettlebell swing, only with outside the legs. Alright, it's a hip dominant movement, so I want to see a massive amount of flexion from the hip, maybe just a touch from the knee, and it's almost as if we're looking down at the floor, okay? So from there, hip hinge, and we're driving up using our hips, okay? Spot on. From there then, we're going to go into a double club swipe. So from there, we're going to go straight into it from using our swing. So from there, whoop, straight up and over, back down to there. Up and over, back down to there. Up and over, back down to there. Perfect. And then from there, we're going to go into a swipe with an alternating lunge. Alright? So, from there, up, lunge, back to there. And as the clubs come over the shoulder, that's when we're going to land the foot. Okay? Fantastic. So what we'll do is, let's pull those movements together into that sort of little hybrid type movement again, as we did with the single club. Alright? So, rockets first. So, from there, dip. Into swings, bosh. Up to there, bosh. Up to there, bosh. Up to there, into our swipe. Up and over. 1, up. 2, up. 3, into our swipe. With a lunge. 1, up. And there, 2, 3, back to there. Okay? Clubs go down. Fantastic. Give it a try and see how you get on. Okay. Now what we're going to look at is another hybrid, another double club hybrid sort of movement, or hybrid set. And what we're going to look at first off is an inside frontal circle. Okay? So we're going to go from an inside frontal circle into a frontal sort of pendulum, an inside frontal pendulum, okay, into a rotating swipe, into an up and down swipe, double club, alright? Quite difficult, because we're going to have to check ourselves before we riggedy wreck ourselves, alright? So let's see how we get on. Again, I'm going to show you the movements, and then we can put them together into that hybrid set, and see what the script is, alright? So, let's start. We'll look at an inside frontal circle. Okay, so we're going to start with the clubs high. Now from there what we're going to do is, we're going to go round, whoop, and we're going to snap our hips, drive the clubs back up. There, whoop, drive the clubs back up to the top. There, whoop, drive our clubs back up to the top. Okay, from there, back to the order position. From there we're going to look at that inside frontal pendulum. So clubs are going to go across our body. Again, we're going to sort of weight shift just a touch and let them sort of pendulum across the legs and back up to this position again. So from there, whoop, pendulum, whoop, and catch. Okay? There, whoop, pendulum, and catch. And there, pendulum, and catch again. Easy. From there, what we're going to do is we're going to look at that rotating swipe. So we're going to start like a pendulum, but then we're going to turn into it and swipe. So from there, pendulum, and then there, whoop, and swipe. There, and swipe, there, and swipe. Up, and back to the order position again. Now we're going to look at an up and down swipe, and we're going to turn both ways. So there, we're going to go up, swipe, turn, swipe, and back down to there. Okay. Woo-hoo. Pretty challenging on the grip. Let's see how we get on, because we're going to put them together again, back to back, in that hybrid sort of set. Let's see what the crack is. So, from there, let's get the clubs up in the air. We're going to go frontal circle. So there, boom, up to there, boom, up to there, last one, boom, up to there, into our whoop, little pendulum, and catch, 2, and catch, whoop, 3, and catch, into our rotating swipe, whoop, that's 1, whoop, that's 2, whoop, that's 3, into our up and down, 1, whoop, 2, whoop, last 1, 3, whoop, and down to there. Woo! Okay, quite challenging, but again, excellent workout. So, this is Ben McDonald, aka Professor Fitness, for Ultra Fit Online, signing off.